What if the weakest mistake of your life happened in your weakest moment? What if the moment you promised loyalty was the same night you failed? Tonight we're talking about one of the most painful and human moments in Scripture. Why did Peter deny Jesus 3 times? And before you judge Peter, ask yourself, would you have done the better thing? Stay with me, because by the end of this, you may see, and for sure you may know, why Peter cried all those tears. Peter wasn't just any disciple. He was bold, he was loud, he was passionate. Jesus called him from fishing and said in Gospel of Matthew chapter 4 verse 19, "Follow me." Peter walked on water. Peter declared Jesus was the Son of God. Peter said he would die for him. In Gospel of Matthew chapter 16 verse 16, he boldly says, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Jesus responds, "On this rock I will build my church." Peter wasn't weak. He was chosen. He was clothed. That's what makes what happened next so painful. At the Last Supper, Jesus tells the disciples, "They will fall away." Peter immediately responds, "Even if everyone else falls away, I never will." You can hear the confidence. You can feel the pride. But in Gospel of Luke, chapter 22, verse 34, Jesus says, "Before the rooster crows today, you will deny 3 times that you know me." Peter couldn't imagine that. Because we never imagine ourselves failing under pressure. We picture ourselves brave. We picture ourselves strong. We picture ourselves faithful. But pressure reveals what confidence hides. Jesus goes to pray in the Garden of Gethsemane. The soldiers arrive. Peter pulls out a sword and cuts off the servant's ear. That's Peter. Emotional, impulsive, protective. But when Jesus allows himself to be arrested, everything changes. Peter follows, but at a distance. He still cares. He still loves Jesus. How many of us follow Jesus at a distance when it gets uncomfortable? Jesus taken to the high priest's court. Peter waits outside by the fire. A servant girl looks at him and says, "You were with Jesus." Peter responds, "I don't know what you're talking about." First denial. Not under torture, not in front of an army, just a servant girl. Fear doesn't always need a huge threat. Sometimes it just needs public pressure. Have you ever stayed silent about your faith at work, at school, with friends? That's modern denial. Another personal reconciliation that we see. And another person, we see them reconciling and recognizing Peter. You are one of his disciples. Peter denies it again, stronger this time. His heart is racing. His thoughts are scattered. He sees Jesus being beaten and mocked. Now the reality hits. Association could cost him everything. When your faith threatens your comfort, what can you choose? A third time someone says, "Surely you are one of them." Your accent gives you away. This time Peter swears. He calls down curses. He insists he does not know Jesus. Then the rooster crows. And according to the Gospel of Luke chapter 22 verse 61, Jesus stands and looks at Peter. Imagine that look. Not hatred, not rage, just knowing Peter remembers. And he runs away and weeps bitterly. This is not casual regret, not heartbreak. This is the pain of realizing you failed someone you love. Why did Peter deny Jesus? Because he was afraid. Because instinct told him to survive. Because he overestimated his strength. Because pressure exposed his humanity. Peter denied Jesus because he was weak. And weakness is something we all understand. We deny Jesus when we stay silent to protect our image. When we compromise values to fit in. When we choose comfort over conviction. When we follow at a distance of standing firm. Peter's story is uncomfortable because it's quite familiar with ours. But here's the beautiful part. Failure wasn't the end of Peter's story. After the resurrection, Jesus meets Peter again by the sea in the Gospel of John chapter 21. 3 times Jesus asks, "Do you love me?" 3 denials, 3 restorations. Jesus doesn't shame him. He reinstates him. The man who denied Jesus becomes the man who preaches boldly at Pentecost. The one who reigned in fear becomes the one who later gives his life for his faith. Failure did not disqualify Peter. It shaped him. Maybe you denied God in your own way. Maybe you walked away. Maybe you compromised. Maybe you kept quiet when you should have spoken something. Maybe you feel like you failed beyond repair. But if Jesus restored Peter, he can restore you. Your worst moment does not cancel your calling. Your tears are not the end of the story. So let me ask you something. Where in your life are you falling apart? And where in your life are you following Jesus at a distance? Is it fear? Is it pride? Is it comfort? Whatever it is, come back. Because the same Jesus who looked at Peter still looks at you today. Not with condemnation, but with invitation. The rooster crowed, but grace spoke louder. If this message touched you, comment, "I'm coming back." And remember, the Lord still loves you and He will still use you. Please subscribe so that you can get more of these videos, so that you can be ignited to walk your salvation.